Good morning. I pray that your Thursday was filled with spaces and places of joy, of peace, of happiness. And that brings me to my topic. I choose joy, or I choose to be joyful. You know, joy is something that comes from within. Joy is a choice. No, joy is not contingent upon what's happening externally, what's happening in the environment. Joy is not contingent upon what someone else does or doesn't do, or what groups of people may perpetrate or not. Joy comes from within. Joy comes from having a sense that you are okay in spite of your circumstances, that you are okay whether the sun is shining or whether it's raining, whether it is beautiful weather or whether it is cold and frigid. Joy does not care. Joy is not contingent upon anything else except for what you choose. And so today, I choose joy. I just had a wonderful walk. I decided to do it through a neighborhood that I have driven through but never walked through. I saw some beautiful homes. It was a bit more challenging than I thought, but I chose to be joyful even as I huffed and puffed up and down hills. I chose to be joyful. Even when as I was walking, all of a sudden I heard this dog barking at me on the other side of a fence, and it was not on a leash, but it was on the other side of the fence. And once I realized that, it startled me, but I chose to be joyful. And as I kept walking, I told it, shh, shh, just calm down. Joy is a choice. And you may say, you don't understand what's going on in my life. You may not understand what I have to deal with. How can you tell me to choose joy when we are at the precipice of a decision that will change or has the possibility to change the very trajectory of most of our lives? But I still say choose joy, because you have no choice. You have no control over those things. Those things you do have control over, you can do something about. But guess what? Most of the things that we stress over, most of the things that have us feeling anxious, we really have no control over. So since we don't have control, why not simply choose joy? Why not simply choose to position yourself in a space, even if it's only for a short period of time, to position yourself doing something or experiencing something that gives you joy? I remember, and I was thinking about this yesterday, there was a time where I did not necessarily like walking. And I don't know if that I didn't like it. It was because my hip had been challenged. My hip would always hurt so badly after I walked. But guess what? Even with all of the challenges that come with COVID, social distancing, not being able to see my family, I have found that I find joy now when I walk and my hip no longer hurts. Maybe it's because I've learned some things to do to help my hip out. Maybe it's because I've changed my diet somewhat. Maybe because I have done it repeatedly that my body is adjusting. But whatever it is, I have come to find that walking gives me joy. And so I invite you to identify something in your life. Identify an activity, a food, a TV show, or something that gives you joy. And every day, in spite of your circumstances, in spite of the challenges, in spite of whatever may come, grant yourself the gift of creating some joy in your life. Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to hearing about how will you intentionally create joy in your life today. Love you much. Bye-bye.